Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Kari and today I am doing another series review on the Land of Elyon Chronicles by Patrick Carman. There are 5 books in this series and they include The Dark Hills Divide, which is the first one, Beyond the Valley of Thorns, The 10th City, Into the Mist, which is a continuation of the story from the 10th City to Stargazer, which is number 4-ish, but it's also a prequel, which gets confusing, but it fits in much better between Stargazer and 10th City than it does at the beginning. Anyway, so these 5 books are all part of the Land of Elyon series. This is another of my favorite series. It's a YA coming-of-age story, essentially. It might be middle grade. Alexa starts out at 12 years old in the Dark Hills Divide, and then by the time Valley of Thorns comes around, she's 13 because it's been a year. And the rest of the books, these 4, all take place when Alexa is 13 and within maybe 6 months at the most. There's a lot that happens in the last 4 books. It's amazing. Anyway, Alexa finds out in the first book, The Dark Hills Divide, that there's an entire world outside of hers. Many years ago, one of the town leaders decided that the outside world was dangerous, and so he built walls. Her world, essentially, is a wagon wheel. There's 4 cities, one of which is Bridewell, and that's in the center. It's a walled city, and there are 3 spokes leading to 3 other walled cities, one of which she lives in with her mother and father, called Lathbury. I mean, I guess the names aren't really important, but moving on. Every summer, she and her father go to Bridewell to take care of the running of the town because her father is one of the very important men who run the town. The summer of her 12th year, she and her father go to Bridewell, and she finds out that there's something more going on. She's always been interested in what's outside the walls because nobody's allowed outside the walls. Nobody's allowed to even look outside the walls. But she has this burning curiosity, like all 12-year-old girls do, to know about what she's not allowed. She finds a way out into the world, and an entire world of opportunities and magic surprises her. She meets this little man called Yipes, and a wolf, and a bear, and learns that there are ways to talk to animals outside of the city. That's the first book. She also, in this, has to defeat somebody who wants to destroy her town. Throughout the next 4 books, you learn more about the background of the walls. Specifically in Into the Mist, you learn more about why the walls came into being. Like I said, it's sort of a prequel set in the guise of a story being told to Alexa and Yipes on one of their journeys. And it's told by one of the men who essentially helped build the walls, or is related to the guy who built the walls. So the next 4 books, she's helped take down the walls, and she learns that there's a lot more dangerous things out there, and maybe they were a good reason for the walls. For the sake of spoilers, that's all I'm gonna say, because I don't think I spoiled anything too important. So, these books are just, they're fantastic. I finally figured out that they're a coming-of-age story, because I've never really known what that meant, but it finally made sense to me in rereading this series. She doesn't really understand what her place is in this city or in this world until she starts going through these adventures and realizing that there actually is something special about her, because she's always thought that there isn't anything special about her and that there's just no point to really any of this. She doesn't understand it, she has no place, she feels very awkward. And then finally, as you see her grow, which is also really well done, she reacts normally, but she also just keeps finding the strength to go on, which surprises even Alexa. I love that component of it. There are also just some fantastic lines in this series where she just is done, or where she reacts like you would expect her to react. For example, when she almost hyperventilates in a tunnel because maybe these wolves aren't quite what she thinks they are, but she realized she really has no choice. She can either keep going forward or die of hyperventilation in this tiny tunnel. And so she does what any human with a survival instinct does and keeps going. She meets so many amazing characters. There are giants, like I said, there are wolves, Yipes, the little guy, she develops a bit of a mistrust for cats, which is fair. She also has a fantastic relationship with squirrels. There is also a little bit of a Chronicles of Narnia feel to it, because it's a whole nother world to get to through a secret door. And there's a pseudo-religious component in that the big overriding superstitions are Elyon the good and Abaddon the bad. And they've always been fighting, and so essentially she has to help defeat Abaddon, and it's a little bit complicated, but at least to explain without spoiling anything, but it's amazing. Like I said, very Chronicles of Narnia feeling, except without the snow. There is a lot of water in this, especially once you get to Into the Mist and Stargazer, because they're on a ship at that point. And that was, I love the water, and so it was super amazing to read something that they're on a ship, and there's just so much to it. There's so many great characters in this series, and like I said, lines that just make you absolutely laugh out loud. But without repeating myself, I'm going to stop there. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up down below, and if you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button down below. As always, I will leave my Goodreads linked in the down bar if you want to check out what I read. But until my next video, bye!